What's good, y'all? Michael here today with another video. Listen, it's time to talk about Ryan Pace, okay? And I know it's probably on the most conversation on lots of Bears heads' minds on about how long until Matt Nagy and Ryan Pace get fired from their spots. I'm just gonna deliver that to you. Okay? So they didn't they Pace actually tried to trade for Russell Wilson from what I heard. They offered like three first rounders and two active starters that we do not know of. Maybe they'll be revealed at some point. I do not know, but all I know is Ryan Pace actually did try to trade for Russell Wilson. Star quarterbacks are very hard to trade for in the NFL. And I have to I'm going to admit, NFL star quarterbacks are very hard to trade for because the player is talented and he's worth a lot. It's going to trading your entire roster for one star quarterback, which is why I think Ryan Pace said, okay, let's look at the market right now. Ryan Fitzpatrick, I wouldn't say he's the best option because he is only good one or two games and he's only good as a backup. So the situation is okay, do we trade for Darnold who hasn't proven himself in the NFL? Who only had one good season, and that was in 2017, wherein the Jets were like 7-9 or 6-10 or some shit. Okay, we got a veteran quarterback, Andy Dalton, who's been to the playoffs 4 times. He is familiar with our team, with offensive coordinator Bill Lazor. We're keeping our core around him. We are trusting Andy Dalton to figure out the rest. So we're building around Andy Dalton. We need an offensive line and we need receivers because that's how he succeeded in Cincinnati. Because, to be quite honest with you, people, as much as you want to criticize Andy Dalton saying he was horrible than Mitch Trubisky, as much as you want to criticize him, he did play with an injured offensive line. And according to most of people say about Patrick Mahomes, that the only reason why he lost that Super Bowl is because of the offensive line issue. So, in order for your quarterback to succeed, you need two things: an offensive line and a wide receiver core. This ain't a running back league anymore. Okay? I don't want to hear that shit. Name me a team that has won a Super Bowl with just building around a running back. I'll wait. And it doesn't have to be like an old school. It has to be in the centuries where it's a passing league. Majority of the wins, the sport of football is where you have to air that son of a bitch out. You have to air that son of a bitch out and score more than the other opponent. The only reason why I have a concern about Ryan Pace with this Andy Dalton signing is he knows that if this doesn't work, he's going to be out of a job. So is Matt Nagy. So is Ted Phillips. We Chicago Bears fans need to relax. Okay? Okay? Take a step back and breathe. Andy Dalton was playing with a poor offensive line on the Bengals and the Cowboys because the Cowboys' offensive line was injured. Oh, but the Cowboys only missed the playoffs because Dak got hurt. Well, to be fair, Dak was like 1-3 before he got hurt. He would not even be able to win that division. That defense was like the worst defense in the league. So, as far as I'm concerned, Andy Dalton may not be a perfect fit for the Bears, but if Ryan Pace can build an offensive line and get him some receivers, Allen Robinson would be his AJ Green, Joey Moss would be like Darnell Mooney, and Tyler Boyd would be like his and Tyler Boyd would be Cole Kmet. So as much as I know Andy Dalton for like the majority of the times he's played in Cincinnati and Dallas, he always had a talented receiver, and most of the time he has a receiver to work with. He can win more. He can win religiously 10 games, and I don't get Bears fans' logic. Okay, I understand that you wanted a superstar quarterback in the offseason. Other than Russell Wilson, Deshaun Watson, who would you rather have the Bears get other than Andy Dalton? Would you take Ryan Fitzpatrick, who's only good when it's like a situational? He's like a situational quarterback that can only be used for ahead of times. Would you rather take Sam Darnold, who hasn't proven himself, and you say, oh, he would be a top 10 quarterback if he wasn't on the Jets, or top 20? I don't want to hear that. Andy Dalton's been putting up numbers when he was on the Bengals and only made the playoffs 4 times. You don't give him no strikes. You don't say he would be a top 10 quarterback on the Patriots. Like, I just don't get Bears fans' logic. If I'm George McCaskey or Virginia, I walk Ryan Pace and Matt Nagy to a room. Hi Ryan, hi, how you doing? How's the family? How's the kids? Now, what is the main priority of going into the 2021 offseason? You provided us with a quarterback, Andy Dalton. You provided us with a wide receiver core, Robinson, Darnell Mooney, Cole Kmet, Jimmy Graham, and potentially Riley Ridley, or a rookie receiver. What is the main priority going into the 2021 offseason? If Ryan Pace says anything but an offensive lineman, I'm firing him. And if anybody got a problem with it, I fire him too. Because we're moving in the right direction. At the end of the day, people, as much as you want to credit Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers for basically making everybody look good, they're known for doing that. Okay? Not every quarterback is going to be like Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady, basically just making trash into gold. Lamar Jackson, he doesn't have a single wide receiver. And don't give me that Sammy Watkins shit, because Sammy Watkins is always hurt. The reason why Lamar Jackson will never see his full potential is because the Ravens failed to give him provided talent on the roster. He doesn't have a tight end like Gronk. He doesn't have like a Devontae Adams, Julian Edelman, Mike Evans. He doesn't have a Robert Tonyan to work with. That's what Lamar Jackson doesn't have, and Lamar Jackson will never see his full potential because the Ravens will fail. Because that's what the Ravens are going to try to do. They're going to be a run first down team with Lamar Jackson. that's not going to win you games. New York Giants, until right now, before they start signing Kenny Galladay, had a promising quarterback, Daniel Jones, who had a great rookie season. He had one of the worst wide receiver cores in the NFL. And also, I don't know how Evan Ingram made the Pro Bowl, to be honest. Eagles fans. Eagles. Their wide receiver core is trash. You need wide receivers to make quarterbacks. That's how this shit things work. And not only do you need receivers, you need an offensive lineman. You need at least two stud linemen and you'll be fine. Cody Whitehair will be his star center or right guard. Sam Mustipher will be the center. And Charles Leno, although he's improved, I'll give him credit. If he turns out to be the stud like he was in 2018, you have three stud linemen. Depending on what you want to do with right tackle, because you're not extending Bobby Massive, you're looking at it from a business perspective. Okay, I got my quarterback, Andy Dalton. I got my receiver core. We are an offensive line away from being an elite offense. But the defense is looking like it's like, how do I put it? It's looking like it's broken, but it's somehow going to find a way to be elite again. Because Desmond Trufant is only good when healthy. So if I'm Ryan Pace, I'm drafting a quarterback. A rookie quarterback in the later rounds. Not like in the first rounds. I would rather just take one in like the later rounds. And for the record, people, if we're taking a quarterback, it's not going to be Justin Fields. Newsflash, people, you probably were on the hype train for Dwayne Haskins. Guess what? Guess how that turned out? We're better off drafting Mac Jones than than drafting Justin Fields. Hell, we're better off trading for Zach Wilson than drafting Justin Fields. And you Bears fans, you have to pray to God Andy Dalton stays healthy or doesn't play like shit. Because if Justin Fields ever sees the field, it's not going to look good. But you know what I mean. That's all. Subscribe. As always, my name is Michael, and I approve this message.